everyone, we're going to evaluate the given integral, and before we start we're going to go ahead and use partial fraction decomposition to help us do this. So we can write 5x plus 1 divided by 2x plus 1 times x minus 1. We want to decompose this fraction to make it easier to integrate. So these are both linear factors in the denominator. So you have a divided by 2x plus 1 plus b divided by x minus 1. Now let's clear the fractions by multiplying both sides of the equation by our least common denominator here. So basically, if you I'm just going to put LCD here. If you multiply the left-hand side by this, you're just going to get 5x plus 1, because that will cancel out. Now, if you multiply the right-hand side by our LCD, this will cancel out with this. So this is going to be a times x minus 1. And then b, when you multiply this part, these two will cancel. So you have to multiply those two. So that's going to be times b times 2x plus 1. Now, simplifying that, you're going to get 5x plus 1 equals ax minus a plus 2bx plus b. Now what I want to do is group my x's together and my constants together. So I'm going to write 5x plus 1 equals, and here are my two x's. So I'm going to just write my a plus 2b and pull out that x. So I'm pulling this x out. And similarly, for the second part, I'm just going to write negative a plus b. So that would be like your x to the 0 power, your constant term. So this would be your constant term. Now you can equate coefficients. So we know that these x's go together. So this 5, this is your coefficient, equals a plus 2b. And then we have 1 for our constant term equals negative a plus b. So when you add these together, you get 6 equals 3b. So b equals 2. And if b is 2, then you're going to have a is 1, because you could plug it back in here. So that means a equals 1. Now I can rewrite my integral as the integral of a is 1. So we're going to write this as 1 divided by 2x plus 1 plus 2 divided by x minus 1 dx. And when you take the antiderivative of that, this is just going to be 1/2 for the 2 here, ln of 2x plus 1 plus 2 times ln of x minus 1 plus c. And that will be your final answer. Now, as far as we did this part, I want to show you a different method real quick. Another method for doing this. So let's say we have, we already cleared the fractions. So you have 5x plus 1 equals a times x minus 1 plus b times 2x plus 1. So let's start where here you have to go to this step. And what we can do is we can say, well, let x equal 1. Now, if x is 1, what's going to happen is you're going to get 5 times 1, substitute the 1 here. This is going to be 6 equals 0 times a. So the a goes away. And then you'd have b times 3. So that would be 3b. Therefore, you get 3b equals 6. And then b would equal 2 like we got before. Then you take this same equation, and to make b 0, we're going to let x equal negative 1/2. You plug in negative 1/2 in here, that's going to give you 0. So we'd have negative 5/2 plus 1 equals negative 3/2 when you plug this in to this x minus 1. So when you simplify, whoops, where's my a? 3/2, that would be 3/2 a. So simplifying that, you'll get a equals 1. So this would be 2/2. And so this would be negative 3/2 equals negative 3/2 a. So clearly a is 1 because it gives you that. All right. So either method works for this. That's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.